This was the fourth VidCon I attended. My first was all about activism. My second was me being a mess. My third was FriendCon. This one, my fourth, was a little bit of all of that, but I tried to be where I could help or where I was wanted. That second part is always hard for me to figure out. Let's put a title sequence here. Hi Paul Talkers and other viewers, my name is Paul, this is Where Paul Talks, and if you'd like me talking about VidCon, I hope you'll subscribe. But please don't smash anything besides the patriarchy. Every VidCon since my start, I've done this thing where I record the panels I attend and then put them online. I did that again this year. Here's a card to see the playlist, or you can click on the link in the doobly-doo. I do that for two reasons. First, I hate that you can only go to VidCon if you have lots of money, so this is a way I counter that. The second reason is I fear people don't want me there, so I figure if I provide this service, my presence will be forgiven. That might sound ridiculous or sad to you, but I have mental health issues, and the symptoms include this kind of thinking. Another thing I've done since the start is volunteering for shifts at the Uplift booth. Uplift is a non-profit organization that formed in 2014 in response to the 70+ disclosures of harmful YouTubers and Viners. Uplift fights to end sexual violence online and due to online creators. I got involved with them from the start because I got so mad about the abuse as it came out that I wanted to do something to help, and I've kept trying to help them ever since. When I wasn't attending panels or volunteering at Uplift's booth, I tried to hang out with friends. On Wednesday, I hung out with a bunch of Disability on YouTube creators and their friends, and I think I was welcome there. It was a fun night of food and games and talking. Thursday, I got dinner with Nirali, Firewood Sparkler, and it was great. I got to know her a bit better at a Denny's before she becomes really famous. Friday, I got a late dinner with Echo, Crystal, David, Tony, Hannah, Greta, Abba, and Kat. And it was very lovely. And I ran into Palestrina on the way back to the hotel. Saturday, I got to hang out with Ricky, Stu Dippin, and Cat of Diamonds, and Scott Niswander for a minute in the expo hall. Then in the evening, I went to the Creator Track party, which was very poorly put together, but I got to hang out with Mary Aikman and Magic Eye Jenny for a while. After that, I hung out with Mia and Melanie and Pua for a little bit. Then, back at my hotel, I spent a little time with Matt Palka, and Maya Ledesma, and Garrett the author, and Liz Macaroon, who almost made me cry in the shortest amount of time ever. And after a couple years of missing out, I attended a Cypher. The Cypher is like a freestyling and rapping hangout organized by Aaron Williams. I suck at freestyling, but I went in the circle for a little bit. There is video online. Sunday, I finally caught up with the bad boy VidCon, Amelia Berger, and we got Dole Whip together at the Disneyland Hotel. So for the most part, because of the people, I had a lot of fun. But the VidCon that went on around me was not completely fun. The creator panels were pretty great, but the community panels were so hard to hear. A moderator can make or break a panel, and while some were excellent, like Asante and Mary Aikman, some of the moderators seem to think they should just be bubbly and happy without actually steering the discussion. Security, again, sucked at knowing how to treat my disabled friends looking for accessibility. VidCon didn't take precautions against harassers and attackers showing up at panels full of women and feminists, despite the fact that we're living in Trump's USA now. The Less Than Famous panel was excellently filled out, but many other panels had startlingly little diversity. It's a good thing there were several panels specifically to show diversity, or I wouldn't have seen much. And I don't just mean skin colors. I mean gender representation, sexual identity representation, disability representation, and there still weren't any quiet spaces. The creator lounges had DJs or loud music and flashing lights and just no place to calm down when you're being overwhelmed. I love VidCon. I do. So I want it to be better. I want people to walk away from seeing 5 panels in a day and say things like, were there any straight people in any of those panels? Were there any white men? And have the answer possibly be no. I want people to be able to walk through the expo floor and not wonder if a particular setup is racist or harmful to teens or perpetuating sexist ideas. For that matter, people should be able to walk through the expo floor and not have to fear anything more than the occasional shoulder-to-shoulder jostling. Screaming and running, their badges should be taken away and they should get ejected. touching anyone without their consent, even if it's for a video, badge gets removed, you get ejected. Running up the down escalator, badge gets removed and you get ejected. That's what security should do instead of telling my disabled friends they don't look disabled enough for the reserved chairs. I am a very privileged person, so I'm going to stop talking here and point out other people's VidCon videos where they talk about problems and possible solutions. Echo Gillette's, Andrea Lascelles, Ricky Pointer's, Jody Yarborough's, and Megan Tonjes's. I made a playlist of them that's linked here in the cards and also in the doobly-doo. I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with VidCon. Will I go back? Probably. Will it improve? Possibly. But as long as VidCon keeps trying to become like a San Diego Comic-Con instead of a place where weirdos on the internet can learn from each other and talk to each other, I fear it's going to get worse. So here's where I give an action item. VidCon emails out feedback surveys, and I haven't seen it yet, but it's probably coming soon. So either through that, or by emailing info@vidcon.com, let them know what you want for the future. And if you'd like to see me on a panel at VidCon, please recommend me to them. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but if we don't tell them the changes that we want, that's not going to help. Thank you for watching all of this. If you like my recount of VidCon and would like to help my YouTube growth, here's what you can do. For free, subscribe to my channel and share this video on Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr. You can also leave me your thoughts about VidCon in the comments, or tell me something that matters to you, because I want to know. For $1 a month or more, you can join my Patreon, so I can afford to do things besides just existing, and so you can get exclusives and early access videos. Finally, if you are a YouTuber with a marginalized voice and you'd like to upload one of your videos to my channel, please let me know. And I hope you watch more of my videos, but whether you do or not, know that tomorrow will be even better.